What is up, everybody? I am officially sick and tired of Thursday night football. I'm sick and tired of injuries, and it was pretty rough after the Brees Hall injury. I was like, should I just give up on fantasy football? But I just said never
Yes.
give up.
Yeah.
Nah, I got to finish out the season hoping for a lucky win because especially in Instagram experts league, I feel like everyone's team is crappy. It's a,
Yeah, I think it's just the year's weird. I think there's
yeah,
been a down year in fantasy.
it's been nuts. Like there's only like three good running backs. There's only five tight ends you can possibly even start after the 4 or 5 tight ends. As like you don't even know what's going. I mean, Greg Dulcich to me is like an elite tight end, and we've only seen that man play 2 games his whole life.
Tom Brady gave up his family for this.
For what? For
Exactly.
Amazon? For watching
Exactly.
football on Amazon
Exactly.
Prime?
Just a terrible year. He gave it all up.
I actually drafted him in leagues. It's
A lot of them.
one of my best leagues is a league where I basically didn't draft a quarterback. Can you like I mean this has happened before in fantasy. A lot of times you'll be better off not drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
pretty
Especially
weird
this year.
unless you hit on like a Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. Other than that, like because I
Not
what
even
I, what
Lamar's been
happened
that
was
good.
the whole draft fell apart. Everyone was making fun of me. Like like I say, it got to my head, but like I knew like my draft was terrible.
Which league
Like
is this?
it was a $200 buy-in, so everyone had to
Okay.
buy in with a $200 NFT. It
Oh,
was
that's a
my
lot.
last draft in Yahoo. Yeah, how I say it is anything over $100, I think eh, gets serious. Like
Yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
that threshold, right? Where everyone
Right.
and it really like that. What I've said like really exemplifies in this league. Like everyone's being a gentleman and cool, but there's a certain level of cutthroat. There's nobody on wait like you can never like go find like a great player on waivers ever. Nobody like fell in the draft to my lap. Like that happens every draft. Like some player just all of a sudden falls. Um, you can't trade. It's impossible to pull off a trade. I sent like 20 trades in that league,
Wow.
and over half were pretty good trade. Like actually the guy would have won if he accepted it over half the time, and all of them got declined. And I got to hunt them down because they're a lot of them make a lot of money, and they probably made a ton of money off NFTs. Most of them are whales. I just stumbled by dumb luck into the NFT game. I didn't have a lot of money. I just got into crypto super early, so I bought in with $1, back in the day. Like what was that? 8 years ago, and
Wow.
they're just rich. So they're like, I'm probably the poorest person in that league. But I'm 4-3. My team's doing good because I didn't have a court because I drafted Trey Lance. It's been a while. Like it's been that type of year. We're gonna be talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, aka the Sun God. We're gonna be talking about Thursday night poop ball and a lot of news. And so I want to start off with today's big news, other than Jamar Chase, of course, is Kadarius Toney going to the Chiefs now. They get a conditional third and a 6th-round pick. Let's start off with this simple question, Mike. What do you think about the trade? Did the Giants win? Did the Chiefs win, or is it a push?
I'm gonna say that the Chiefs won because they got an explosive player. The only downside with Kadarius Toney is that he's always injured, very injury prone. I don't know what the problem is with him and the coaches in New York, but they just never could seem to get along. And I think it's just great for him to get a fresh start on the Chiefs and be a part of that explosive. Like he could theoretically be the guy that is the next Tyreek Hill in that offense, theoretically. We'll see if he can stay healthy, but if he is healthy, he's a game changer and difference maker for that
I
offense.
think I think Tyreek Hill comparison is way too
Crazy,
high.
right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying this.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying like
I don't think that's a
explosive player.
realistic upside. That reminds me of
Probably not. Probably
Sue
not.
Shane in the Discord. Sue Shane's probably not going to listen to this, but he did He did
He said that.
one day. No. He did some way worse. One day he
Okay.
ranked Mahomes as the number one dynasty quarterback, which isn't
Okay.
wild,
That's not wild. Yeah.
but he said Trey Lance could be better.
Oh
And we
my
can probably do a Discord search,
god.
and because we're having a huge argument,
Oh.
about Sky Moore versus Brandon Ayuk. And I mean,
Okay.
he may have been right about that specific argument, but that was one of his points. And I was like, dude, you have to like come back down to earth. He's
Yeah.
like, do you
Yeah.
know how much, like, do you know how I scouted? Like, Lance is my guy. I was like, but dude, like, it's
Realistically, that will never happen.
so, yeah, this kind of reminds me of that. So, like, I think in the
Right.
realm of reality, I think Tyreek Hill is too high of an
Definitely.
upside.
Definitely.
Now,
I'm
he
just saying
does.
that's the ceiling. Like that's
I
the
don't think
absolute
so, and I
ceiling.
disagree. I don't think
Oh, really? Wow.
in the realm of, because I think Tyreek Hill is really that good,
Yeah, he
because
is.
Tyreek Hill did very well with Alex Smith.
Hmm.
You know, he did very well with Mahomes, a young Mahomes, and now he's doing pretty well on the Dolphins. And he's actually had 3 quarterbacks throw to him on a brand new team. It's, I mean, it's pretty like his resume is pretty solidified here. This is a special player. He's a really good player. So I think Tyreek Hill's way too high. Now,
It's fair.
as far as the trade, I guess I would say push,
Okay.
because it wasn't working with the Giants. Now, there is some conspiracy here. Do you remember when Jalen Ramsey had, I think it was a back injury, and then he got traded to the Rams? Then the injury went away
Yeah, I do remember
instantly as
that.
soon as the trade was
Yeah,
processed.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So these injuries, although I'm not saying they're not true, and I'm not disagreeing that he may be injury prone or actually injured, but there's also, I think it's pretty obvious, there's also something else going on there.
Yes,
And the
absolutely.
coach changed too. It's not like it's the same coach from when he got there. So it's a different coach. So there is something to do with the coach. There's something to do with the front off. There's something there. And I remember he did tweet some stuff and seemed kind of emotional, maybe a little diva like last year. And last year he was a rookie, right?
Yeah, last year's a
Yeah.
rookie.
And so there's something, whatever it is, there's something else there, obviously. Then that's why they traded him. And there's injuries as well. But I think there's something else. The fresh start you alluded to is great. In terms of fantasy, other than helping Patrick Mahomes, this is not going to be that relevant. I don't think so. In Dynasty, that's a different story. But as far as this year, I think he's just another toy for Mahomes and Andy Reid. I have him at best the 4th option on this
Wow.
offense, because
Is he behind Sky Moore or is he ahead of Sky
no,
Moore?
heck no. Sky
Oh, okay,
Moore
I was
is
like, wow,
Sky
that's
Moore is
true.
the meme where the kid's drowning, and then Sky Moore is the skeleton underneath.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was just
No,
making
no,
sure
yeah.
we were on the same page.
Sky Moore is already, as far as this year, Sky Moore's are, and on top of all this disaster of Sky Moore, he's fumbling all these kick returns and punt returns.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
so
true.
I think he's losing that job
Is he a
too.
bust? I think he's a bust.
No. I still
No, you're
stand by
long term
Sky Moore in
bullish.
Dynasty.
Okay,
This year
in
is
dynasty.
totally over. He
Okay,
should
okay,
be
okay.
dropped in 16-team leagues. Like, it's
Yes,
been, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. No, this year he's dead. And like I said, he's probably gonna lose his return job on top of that.
Wow. Oh,
Well, I
oh.
mean, why not have Kadarius Toney? He probably won't fumble like 40% of the
I'd
time.
rather have Kadarius Toney
Yes,
for
it's
sure.
not like just have
Yeah,
Kadarius Toney
yeah,
return. He's gonna be
yeah.
better.
Way better.
So you got Juju Smith-Schuster. There's no way that Kadarius Toney is replacing him in the realm of reality. Like, first, he's got to
Okay,
get on the field.
that's
Kadarius
fair.
Toney tweeted today, essentially alluding to him being healthy. It was funny because Scope made a joke in our league, taking the jab at Kadarius Toney getting on the field, and then Tony immediately tweeted as if he was responding to Scope. But Scope represents like a large portion of what
Yeah,
people are think the public perception. So he responded
exactly.
essentially to everybody that, like, hey, this would be true if I was hurt. So he's basically saying, like, I'm not hurt right now.
Mm.
So we'll see. He'll get on the field. But Kelsey is the number one option.
for sure.
Then I'd say maybe Juju, and then you have the 3 running backs. All 3 get good usage.
What about Nicole?
Essentially,
Is he ahead of Nicole?
we don't know. Like that's what I'm saying. But I just named 3 players, so I think he's gonna have
Okay.
to be behind those 3. Now, Mecole
Okay.
Hardman is also he's just another toy on that offense. MVS gets some usage. The backup
Oh yeah,
tight end
MVS. I
Noah
forgot about
Gray,
MVS.
Justin Watson. There's a lot of toys
Jody
and
Fortson.
who
Jody Fortson.
I don't even know who that like. Is that the
He's
third
he's
string tight
another
end?
tight end. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
like on the
Yes. Yeah.
same
Yeah.
level as
Okay. I
Noah
know.
Gray.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
recognize it now. I remember. Yeah. So yes,
yeah.
even even he's involved.
Yeah.
There's so many guys. So as far as and look, I'm the guy who I added Deontay Foreman in all my leagues.
Me too.
Good move. That was a good
I
move.
think it was a good
And
move.
I added Kadarius Toney like in half my leagues. I'm just telling you right now, it's not gonna work out for me. Like nothing's gonna happen. No one's gonna trade for him. I don't see, and he's not gonna do like what? How am I gonna win with Kadarius Toney, the 4th option on this offense at best? Nothing's gonna happen in Dynasty. This is probably a good thing for you guys in Dynasty getting a fresh start. But as far as him doing anything this year, it's going to be wildly inconsistent. I think he's going to
Probably.
make a couple big, like Mecole Hardman just had a huge game. He might have some, but
Yeah.
who knows when it's coming. And this team gets better. They're going for a Super Bowl, and I like
Hmm.
it. Now they have a lot of depth, and I think this is essentially Sky Moore's replacement this year.
Yeah, I agree.
He's probably better than Sky Moore. I
He
mean,
has to be.
yeah.
I mean, just talent wise, like straight up, he's definitely more talented than Sky Moore for sure.
Yeah, I Sky Moore hasn't been used as a traditional wide receiver this year, and so boom, that's Kadarius Toney does that way better. As far as screen passes and returning, and being used as a running back. We have a comment here. Toney is the best wide receiver on the
Whoa,
Chiefs.
spicy.
Yeah, I mean that is hard to argue against. I just don't think like I think about it in terms of fantasy. So you're telling me the targets are going to be there. You're telling me he's going to get a lot of snaps. He's going to be a traditional wide receiver. I'm going to trust him. There's going to be some level of consistency. I'm going to actually put this man in my lineup and win. Like these things are far fetched for me
That's true.
as of right now. So it's great if I'm Ron. I mean, that's amazing. I got a league. It looks like I'm winning some championships this year. So I doubt that's gonna happen.
So someone offered you George Pickens. Would you trade Kadarius Toney for George
I'd
Pickens?
rather have Pickens, yeah.
Okay.
So I know the Steelers are throwing it. I know Pickens is getting some. There we go. We got another. This is basically your burner, Mike. I think he's
Who is
compared.
this guy?
I don't know, but we're growing on Twitch. I love the Twitch. So Twitch
Nice.
fam is basically saying they're going
Love
to
that.
use him like Tyreek. Now,
Good.
Tyreek Hill, his first year or two, yes. That is actually a great comparison when Tyreek Hill was very young on the Chiefs. It wasn't quite a traditional wide receiver. I think that's fair. But using him like Tyreek Hill, deep threat and all, that's tough. I don't know. Look, maybe it's gonna happen. I don't think it's realistic this year, but let's see. We got a great coach, one of the best coaches, one of the best quarterbacks. Maybe I'm wrong and he is Tyreek Hill, and that would be great because I basically need a wide receiver in all my leagues, and I got this guy stashed. So I'll take that. You know what? I'm hoping I'm wrong. Injuries galore. We've seen a lot of injuries. It's making me sick. Ever since the Brees Hall injury, I've never been the same.
Oh
It
man,
just it completely disgusted me. I
me
have Brees
too.
Hall in at least half my leagues. Like it's one of the guys that I push so hard. I got so much flack on, especially on TikTok. Um, those guys have no imagination on there. They don't listen to this anyway. It's fine because they can't tune in for more than 3.5 seconds. It's it's facts. Uh, it's terrible. But other than Brees Hall, this has been pretty good. Like I've been pretty good with the injury predictions, kind of. And I posted this a while ago. Now I know this was just guesses, and it's not that accurate. But I'm doing this not to toot my own horn necessarily, but to give props. Like, I'm a student of the game. I'm learning a lot more. A lot of people made fun of me for this list, and I made fun of myself too. They're like, "Oh, you just put up random numbers." I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's all guesses. Like, you can't predict injuries, but I did my best, and I think there's at least some substance here. Like, we saw Rashad Penny out for the season. He was my number one guy to get hurt. Dalvin Cook minor banged up. And so, other than Brees Hall, we're seeing a lot of guys with a lot of usage, a lot of guys that aren't used to things, a lot of guys with injury history, a lot of guys popping up on the questionable list. They are getting hurt. And Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins get back
Oh
into
God.
that drama. I can't believe people hated on. People are deleting comments on this channel about Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins, and I told them, best to avoid Akers. I said 75% chance J.K. Dobbins is going to be a bust. That's just how it is with running backs coming back from ACL. Do I want to give props to this guy here? Now, a lot of people know the fantasy doctors on YouTube, Dr. Jesse Morris. He's great. I watch a lot of his videos. He gives a lot of insight. But this guy here is kind of my secret weapon. He's a new doctor on the block. He's really dope, man. Like, I really, really like him, and I suggest you guys follow him. This is not a hashtag ad. Like, I don't even think he knows. Well, we've talked before, but I don't think he really knows me. So this wasn't like a planned shout out or anything like that. This is just a genuine shout out. Sports Med Analytics on Instagram. And he's one of the guys who uses a lot of analytics and his medical background to assess injuries and see what's going to happen. But what I like is a lot of these analytics guys, they use it like a kind of like a Bible or like a crutch. Like, I feel like they're so insecure that they just rely on analytics as like they let the analytics guide them, and they defend it to the death. It's like this weird fascination with analytics, and this guy doesn't have that. He just legitimately, like, he doesn't seem like an insecure guy to me. He just legitimately uses analytics to help us out in fantasy football, medical, when we talk about medical and injury analytics. So, he kind of helped me out, let's say, with Derrick Henry, because he told me, like, guys who are used to getting those carries, workhorses, tend to stay healthy. But then you got those guys who aren't used to that full workload. Those are the guys who get hurt a lot more too. It's like, it's just kind of crazy, some guys are built different. Like, Derrick Henry is built different. He is built like a workhorse and can handle that. There are some guys, like, you just know straight up they're workhorses. That's Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, guys like that who getting the touches.
C-Mac.
No. I mean, that guy hasn't been on the field for a while. Now, that man's staying healthy though, so props to him. No,
knock
but
on wood,
definitely
please.
not. He just hasn't been on the field. But I don't know what this guy's opinion is on him. But guys like that help me come up with this. Like, obvious, like, this isn't all me. Like, I mean, I don't know how. Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an injury expert. I'm just a student of the game and trying to help out. Yeah, Javonte too. That's just unfortunate. Javonte Williams,
no.
man, barely has
That
any
was
tread
rough.
on him.
That was a rough one.
Let's just kind of face it though. Any player on the Broncos is would have been disappointing. That just kind of ended the misery. Like, at least you can bench him. But Brees Hall was he was on his way to being a top 5 running back. Like,
he would have been like the number 1 back next year if he didn't get hurt. I feel like he was on that trajectory.
Number 1.
I think.
I mean, I can't say
going.
no. I mean, number 1's tough, but I can't say no. Like, especially if the Jets keep improving, like, their O-line could have got better next year. And I mean, man, he was just a beast. So that
upside was
that
there.
one hurt.
The upside was
Oh,
there.
hell yeah! I mean, like I said, he would have finished top 5 this year
easily.
Like, if he kept going. I mean, he was just killing it. Like, he was going nuts. So that one was tough. So shout out to the fantasy doctors on YouTube, and shout out to Sports Med Analytics on Instagram.
Remember, I said what if you traded Fournette for Brees, and you guys were like, no, That couldn't. You shouldn't do
We
that.
didn't say that at all. We just said you should get a piece. We should get another piece in return, is all.
All right. Maybe I heard it different,
No,
but
I didn't. Definitely didn't say that.
okay.
I love Brees Hall, bro. Like, I mean, it's just it wouldn't make any. I have him on all my leagues. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have
But now we
Fournette in
know.
one.
Now we know the answer would be definitely Brees. I mean, if he didn't get injured, the answer would be Brees is definitely
I
better
mean, you
than
can't
Fournette.
really say. Like, I mean, Fournette's doing
I would say
okay.
it. I would say that
It's
if he
yeah, I
didn't
like
get
the
hurt.
younger option. Yeah, now, but
Yeah.
back when we did it though, I felt like you could have got more. As
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. It was before he broke out. Really, it was like he had
Yeah, he
like
was
2
just
good years.
starting to break. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I just so no, I remember exactly. I said like, give me George, throw in George Pickens, which is not a big
But no
piece.
one would do that. Like no one would realistically do that. They might do it straight up.
Maybe
Like
not,
you know
yeah,
what I
because
mean?
if you have Brees, you probably really like him.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
point.
Exactly.
But Fournette was ranked higher, and he was
Yeah.
having great game. And the very
Yep.
next game, Fournette did better. But
He
Fournette was
did.
just, it was a lot of luck. It was a lot of receptions, and he was getting those lucky touchdowns, and that's
And
why
then
he was
Rashad
scoring.
White was starting to get more touches too, which I was like, I didn't like that trend. You know what I mean? And it's still happening.
Yeah, the what I liked about Brees Hall was like he was the opposite. He was
Yeah.
getting big runs consistently and not scoring a lot of touchdowns. And then
Hmm.
once his touchdowns start coming, it was over.
Yep.
Uh, so that's good. I mean, dude, I said it a billion times. I drafted him in every league. Like it's not. There's no high. Like I loved Brees Hall. Like I have him in almost every league. Like it was crazy. Jamar Chase out 4 to 6 weeks. This was pretty nuts. People asking me
Bombshell.
what's up with that. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. You need my analysis. Targets go up for Hayden Hurst. Targets go up for T. Higgins, and targets go up for Tyler Boyd. Now, I think Tyler Boyd has an amazing matchup this week against the Browns, so we'll see what happens there. He might just go off, or I mean, you're starting him. You're starting T. Higgins as well, but now we might have a tight end that you can get in Hayden Hurst. James Robinson to the Jets. Now, forget about our opinion here with James Robinson. Like, I think the writing's on the wall. They traded, I think, a 6th-round pick,
Yeah,
and
that's
that could
it.
turn into a 5th. So I think just that alone and his stats show what this. I'll tell you what this is. Michael Carter is the starter.
He's
Now
small.
there's a chance. Yeah, he's not he's not that workhorse like the guy I was talking about earlier, like built like a work. He's not a super workhorse, but he's a good back and he's tough and he can run. So Michael Carter is the starter. Now, James Robinson is more of a flyer for this team. Now they're thinking in 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, James Robinson could take over and become the starter, but it's a risk. They don't know that. Last game James Robinson played didn't really get any carries. Maybe it could have been because of trade talks, whatever. James Robinson fell off after the first 2 games. That's just the fact. ETN always looked better. He just was playing like a rookie. He was making dumb mistakes, blooper reel. But he always looked better. Good pass catcher, had a lot more burst, more elusive. And then you coupled that with the Achilles injury. James Robinson lost some burst from last year. So it's no guarantee. Some people really think James Robinson's like the man there now. That's not going to be the case. It's going to be a committee. James Robinson could still suck. He's definitely have him on your bench. And if you do, there's a good chance you'll start him soon in this season. But I'm telling you, there's no guarantees here. They're hoping they can ramp him up in 2 weeks and be some kind of 50-50 split or something like that. But James Robinson is not the man. Otherwise, they would have gave up a lot more to get him. He's
I
just
think
not
he'll be
that
the goal
guy.
line back though, for sure. Because I think Carter's just too
Yeah, it makes a
small.
lot of sense, actually. It makes a
Yeah.
ton of sense. James Robinson has a nose for the end zone.
Yep.
Michael Carter is smaller. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And Michael Carter could be more of the pass catching back
Oh,
as
for sure.
well,
That's exactly
since he
what
can
will happen.
catch. Yeah, but I mean,
He'll be the ATN role. It's like
yeah,
similar.
it is. It would be. Yeah, like the first couple weeks. Yeah, it is. I mean, this could be a 50-50 split.
I think so.
It really could. Like, I don't see Michael Carter going away, but yeah, at the same time, Michael Carter, he's not the workhorse. Like, they don't want him to be the workhorse. This guy asks, is Ken
Ken?
Walker injury prone too? I'm gonna say no, but I honestly don't know too much about his injury history in college or whatnot. Just because he was out um a little bit this year doesn't mean he's injury prone.
I think anyone who's on the Seahawks in the running game is already automatically injury prone. That's my
The Chris Carson
just
gene.
anyone back there, whoever is the running back is
No,
probably
I
injury
don't. I don't agree with this sentiment. But all Seahawks running backs have been injured, though.
prone. That's what I'm saying.
And then there's literally, this. It's not even. It's literally happened. So, yeah. Travis Homer's hurt. Pretty sure DJ Dallas was hurt at some point. Chris Carson hurt. Rashad Penny hurt, and Ken Walker was hurt at some point. But as far as I know, I haven't looked up his injury history. I have looked him up from high school. I wasn't looking at injuries though. I don't think he's injury prone. I would not label him injury prone.
Is he a big running back?
No,
I
no.
don't
He's
know.
five
Okay,
foot nine. He's on the small
okay,
side, but
okay. I didn't know that.
what's weird though, Mike, I think he is a workhorse.
Ken Walker? I think so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't. You wouldn't think he's a workhorse. He is. He is built like a workhorse. He can take that 20 carries. He weighs 211. That's pretty thick.
Yeah.
That's thick with a lot of
Short.
C's.
Yeah.
Five
He's
foot
5'9".
nine, 211. So he's a little undersized, but he's not like CEH. He's not little.
Yeah, yeah. He
He's not.
runs hard. When I see
He
him
runs
running,
really
he's
hard.
physical.
He cuts
Yeah.
hard. I
He's
mean,
kind of like Javonte a little bit before injury.
No.
I would say.
I think
No?
Javante's way more powerful, way bigger,
Oh,
way more
okay.
power. The thing with Ken Walker, nobody can touch him when he cuts. That's
Mm.
the thing. So no one gets a good lick on him. No, Javante is a typical power runner, and that's why I didn't like. I
They're
like him.
similar height and weight though.
But he's way stronger. Like, he's not. It's not that the other guy. Like, he just because of these numbers. Like, Ken Walker looks way smaller. This guy's way stronger. Bench press not a good indicator, but 22 seems pretty high. I don't know what that. I don't even know what the bench press is, to be
It's
honest.
probably reps. That's reps.
No, I know what it is. I just don't. I'm just not
Oh.
gonna act like, oh, I know like who's strong. Like, it's not a stat I look at often.
How many reps did
It doesn't
Dude.
say, but Javante Williams.
Oh,
is
he didn't
above
do it.
average.
He didn't do
No, he
it.
didn't do it. But I'm telling
yeah.
you, like, Javante Williams is a power runner. Ken Walker's way quicker, way faster cutting. And my slight concern with Javante Walker was the speed, but once I saw him in NFL action, there was no concern. He's fast enough. He's really good. He's got good NFL speed, but not like Ken Walker. Ken Walker, once he cuts, man, it's nasty. He's like a smaller Derrick Henry. He's like a tiny Derrick Henry mini me. That's crazy. I think that's a dope, crazy way to put it.
Oh, damn.
He doesn't dance around a lot. He cuts aggressively. He's just a tiny Derrick Henry. And that's good. And not even saying he's small necessarily, just like because Derrick Henry's huge. Derrick Henry's he's enormous. Derrick Henry's like a defensive end. All right.
I agree.
Andy Dalton starting. So, fantasy doctors, I watched one of their latest videos. So Jameis Winston might have a secret mystery ankle injury.
Oh God.
Crazy stuff going on here. Lots of weird things. And the most boring news, I would say, is Sam Ehlinger is going to start for the Colts. I'm not intrigued by this at all.
This is good for Jonathan Taylor owners, though, in my opinion.
You think so? I
think
just said
so.
it can't get any worse for JT.
Can't get worse. That's what I'm saying. It has to be a benefit, I think.
You're thinking more carries. They're going to lean on him more.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Because they're not going to let Ehlinger throw the ball like they were letting Ryan throw the ball.
Yeah, Ryan
You know what I mean?
He was throwing a lot of yards and a lot of picks. It was insane. Matt Ryan.
But Ehlinger can run a little bit.
He
can rush
mobile.
A little bit.
Yeah.
From what I saw some YouTube videos just to see what was going on. and he was pretty mobile from what I've seen.
Yeah, I think he
His
got
arm's weak though.
1,000 rush yards the last 2 years of college. I
At
think.
Texas,
Yeah, I think
wow,
that's good.
that's a
So
legit school. Yeah,
yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what's up. I have JT in a couple leagues, so that could be great. Great.
me
Would
too.
you buy low on JT then?
I would, yeah, for sure.
I think
Because I feel
one.
like some people might think it's going the other way, like they'll load the box because they're
Yeah,
trying
they
to
don't.
dare
Yeah, they
him to
don't. Nobody
throw.
knows. Yeah,
Yeah, no one knows.
everyone
So if you
opinions are all over the place
right, so
with
if you
this
could take
one.
advantage of that doubt, then maybe it is a good idea to buy low on JT.
The one
Because you could get him.
reason the one reason I like buying, and I'm torn on this a little bit too. The one reason I really like buying low on JT, that, or at least I can make a case for, is that I think it is easy to crack this RB1 spot.
Yeah,
It's up for grabs.
for sure.
Saquon, Nick Chubb, Ken Walker. I'm forgetting some. Derrick Henry, CMC. Like, there's like, who's going to be the guy?
Because
It could
JT
go.
also started slow last season, and then he took off.
No, he always starts slow.
Yeah, but like last year
Always.
he was really slow, just like this year. So I think there's definitely a chance, small chance that he somehow gets it, during the second
Yeah,
half
he
of the
always
season.
finishes strong. So yeah, and he
Yeah,
always starts slow.
right.
Yeah, and yeah, these Matt Ryan picks are not helping.
Exactly.
Do we have another trade coming along though? I just read Kamara to the Eagles by a bunch
I
of
saw that too.
dumb people on Twitter.
I think
Uh,
there's something real about that.
no,
You don't think
probably
so?
not. But I don't know. I'm just, bro. This is
Because Eagles are all in. If they get
I
Kamara, they could
understand.
win. You know what I
But
mean?
also the internet is all in. There's never been this level of clownery and BS and clickbait and flat out lying as there ever was in the history of media and the internet. And that's a fact, because it gets worse and worse every day. So anything you read, like today, you probably didn't. I don't know if you've seen this, but Skip Bayless a few hours ago was basically, I have a trustworthy source in the locker room that says Lamar Jackson, even though he's all in on game day, showing up late to practice, he's mad at his contract and he's not engaged during the week in preparation. Like, I just felt like that was a flat out lie. Like,
Is
it's not.
it?
I think it's my opinion.
I mean, it could be somewhat true. Like
I don't
I
think
wouldn't.
so. I don't think a player called Skip Bayless and told him that. I just
But
don't.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're Lamar, I would be upset about the
Yeah,
contract
but
thing.
I think it's clickbait. I think it's total BS. And
Maybe, yeah, yeah, it
there's a
could
lot
be.
of clickbait in BS. Like, uh, yeah, man. I don't know. So this Kamara thing, this is totally just a rumor. I don't think there's any real merit to this. Now it could I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying there's no like, this ain't a legit report.
Do you think it makes sense though for both parties, or what? How do you, if it were true hypothetically, like how do you think if it
It
makes both
would be
teams?
tough for the Saints to do, but yes, they should do it and hit
Why
the
would it be
reset.
tough? They should punt on this
Well, because
season.
it's
The
a good,
season's over.
yeah. No, it's, but some teams don't want to let go.
And also the baggage of him and his pending case. That's another
I'm
thing.
sure we've all had times where we don't want to let go of something, even though it's, like water and it's gonna fall out our hands. So, but yeah,
Panthers let go.
oh yeah, they were almost forced to, and then now they're winning. Great job. They can't even do that right. They can't even tank the right way. Well, he's a tradable player. It makes sense.
It makes sense
Kind
for Philly too to like it's
kind
like
of
they're doing what
everything's
we
going
did.
wrong for the Saints.
Yeah, exactly. They should just cut bait like the Panthers did.
Yeah. Oh, Damian. I actually haven't seen anything about Damian Harris. This is some I just made up.
Why is there so many players going to the Rams?
Yeah. Well, they need a
They're
running
not
back.
gonna win.
They have that guy that a lot of people harassed me about. That guy named Cam Akers. You heard about this guy, Mike?
Yeah. It's
Lots of
trouble.
comments on this channel
A
about
lot of
Cam Akers.
makers.
Some have been deleted.
You triggered a lot
allegedly.
of people. The Cam Akers hive.
It was funny because I remembered what now I'm kind of forgetting it, but there was this one guy like he basically was like, "You're the most dumbest person, and Cam Akers is gonna be amazing." And I went back to look for it, and that's when I was like, "Oh shoot, there's a bunch of comments, there's a bunch of comments missing. Like, what happened?" And now people are deleting J.K. Dobbins comments, but the Rams need a running back. That's why. Look, if the
I thought
look,
Kyron Williams coming back.
okay,
Is he
yes, that's
not
what I
the
was about to
guy?
say. If the Rams don't do this,
Yeah.
then our Kyron Williams stocks are amazing. So it's like, what do you guys want from me? I'm just telling you, but these are all I don't know this stuff. I don't know who's gonna get traded. This is just discussion. Now, if they get a running back, they get a running back. If they don't, then Kyron Williams is going to be something. So stash that man. He's coming back within a couple weeks. I totally made this up right now. David Montgomery to the Rams. I don't think the Bears will let go of him, but
Khalil Herbert's so much better. I don't know why they keep starting Montgomery over Khalil Herbert. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like the eye
Montgomery is
test.
really good, but Herbert is better.
Herbert's better. It's
Better.
obvious,
He's
like
also
to
better.
anyone.
He's also a great fit in that system. He's the type of
He's
guy who
just
can get
faster, quicker.
9 yards per carry, and
Yeah.
that's pretty scary.
I don't get it, man.
But Montgomery, that would be great. Like I feel like Montgomery would be good on the Rams. I don't know his contract situation. My guess is it's about the same as Jacobs, right? It's towards the end. They were drafted the same year. Maybe Toast can look that up. Toast is ready to do, like, this guy's ready to work. Toast, look up the Montgomery contract for me, bro. I know you're ready. This guy's commenting like a madman.
Calling on you.
He wants to look that up so bad. He wants to bring up that contract so freaking bad right now. And count the
Hunt should
years.
definitely be traded.
Huh?
Hunt should definitely be traded. I don't know
Kareem
what's
Hunt
going
makes
on.
sense. Browns are
Yeah.
2-5.
Yeah. Get something for that guy. Jeez.
And he's also very versatile. He's underutilized.
Are they waiting for Watson to come back? Is that what it is? Or
Well, look, man, if they
holding out
lose this
hope?
game, they go 2-6.
Should they just punt the year, or like what is
That's a
the
tough
end
call.
game?
That's a tough call, but Kareem Hunt makes sense. Like, he's in this system, he's replaceable. Like, why you have a bunch of running backs? I don't get this. Why are we reading this? Where's the con? All right, I'll just read what I have to trust him. I'll just read what he said. From Sean Hammond on Twitter, Bears beat reporter asked about the trade deadline and David Montgomery's status, considering Montgomery's contract ends after this season. Okay, so just like Jacobs, Bears GM Ryan Poles called Montgomery one of my favorite players on the team.
Okay, so he's not getting traded.
So he's boosting up his trade value. Wait, come on, you can't trust anybody. But I just don't see Montgomery getting traded. I just think it would be a great trade, though. I don't see them trading. Hunt makes a lot of sense. Damian Harris to the Rams. That would be cool.
I'm just glad C-Mac didn't go in the Rams. That would have been
it went down to the wire, and then
imagine having him and Cup against us.
You know what's funny? This is a joke, but it's also true, like true-ish. Yeah. So it came to everyone kind of knows this, right? Rams, right. Niners, down to the wire.
Yeah.
Rams offered them like 4 draft picks. Niners offered them 4 and then threw in a 5th draft pick. And then the Rams were like, all right, we'll give you Cam Akers. And then the Panthers went, all right, now we're taking the Niners deal. Cam Akers is going to be talked about on every podcast we do, guys, just to let you know, you stupid haters, you bullies. I will not be bullied. I will not be pressured. I mean, this happened, though. I mean, it did happen. So the offer was a bunch of draft picks. Did I get the number right? 4 and 5? We gave him 5
We gave
picks?
them 4 picks. We gave them 3
4.
next year, and then another pick the year
The year
after.
after, 4 picks.
Yeah,
All right, so they were
yeah.
offering like a little bit less than that and Cam Akers. And so they chose our team, of course. They're like, ugh.
Well, he
Even
wanted to
Akers.
go. They knew that he wanted to come to the Niners because he went to Stanford, so they did him a
Yeah,
favor. I
they
read.
did. But also,
Yeah.
like, would you rather have a, like, no joking right now, dead serious. Would you rather have a draft pick or Cam Akers if you're the Panthers? I think it's a
mean,
no-brainer here.
if that's true, then yeah, obviously
No,
you
no,
want to have the
they
best.
threw in Cam Akers in the deal.
And
Because
then
why
okay,
would, bro? They're trying to get, like, you know what I mean? That like, what's Cam Akers doing on the Rams?
yeah, that's
He's
true.
out. He's
Right.
pouting. They don't want him.
Yeah.
What's the best case that he play? Like, he's getting 2 yards a carry. He's like
Yeah.
the worst running back in the
They're
entire
like, we don't
league.
want to waste the roster space on Cam
He's
Akers.
worse than Mike Davis. And Mike
Wow,
Davis
that's
doesn't
bad.
even play. He's
That's
not
bad.
even. Yeah, he's worse than Mike. Like,
But you
that's
know
the.
what though? This kind of makes me sad because it like you know how Cam Akers tore his ACL. Like, what if this happens to like Brees Hall and Javonte and they're just not the same? You know what I mean? Like Cam
No, no,
Akers
no, no,
was
no,
good.
no. So first, going back to our guy. All right, so that's an Achilles. That's
Okay.
James Robinson, Marlon Mack, um, Cam Akers, Dante Foreman, who made it out of that, but took him like 3-4 years. Like, it was crazy. So that's an Achilles. Achilles takes 18 months. Now there's a lot of stem cells. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I have worked with stem cell companies when I do marketing and stuff. So, but now stem cells are legal. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, medical technology's gotten better. Maybe something's going on to where James Robinson all of a sudden started playing. Like, that was crazy. But that's an Achilles anyway. That takes a long time. Now, ACL is bad though for a running back. They will be back the next year. They might even have that speed, but they're not going to be that good. What is this guy cussing about? I mean, there's not the same.
They're not the same. So basically, he's saying that Akers is so far below Brees Hall
Oh
and
yeah.
Javonte that they shouldn't even be
Yeah,
compared in the
he's
same
right.
breath.
Yeah, they're not even.
Yeah.
But so you got the Achilles and ACL mix anyway. So the
Okay.
ACL, but the run,
Thanks
so
for
running
clarifying.
backs coming back the first year from an ACL, 75% of the time they will be busts. They will be a shell of themselves.
That's what I'm
Two
saying.
2 years removed from the ACL, they should be good though.
Okay.
So that's Brees Hall. Look, he might be good next year, but we're trying to trade for Brees Hall and Throne Dynasty, and we're
Oh
not
wow.
we have to expect him to ball out in 2024.
Yeah.
And like you said, 75, the data shows 75% of the chance he's going to. You want an example? J.K. Dobbins this year. Another reoccurring theme on this podcast.
That's what I'm saying. It's sad. That makes me sad.
Okay, like I got that, I got that right. I know I don't take, I wasn't like yelling, don't draft J.K. Dobbins. I was just warning people, like, you probably shouldn't. Anyway, I got a huge miss on my part last year. Saquon Barkley last year. That's 1 year removed from the ACL. Now, he was just starting to get better. Still a huge risk. And I also think Saquon Barkley is one of the most freakishly amazing athletes with superhuman Wolverine powers. So I think he was on his way to getting back, but then boom, an injury. Like, I mean, that goes back into that data. Like, whatever. I think he got, he started his first 2 games, he sucked. Like, it was really bad. I think he was starting to get better, but then he gets hurt again and it was fluky. And then when he comes back, he sucked. And so it was like 1 year removed from the ACL. You gotta really worry about that. And then we got Damian Harris. This one's a complicated one because I think Damian Harris is still hurt. The Patriots don't have a lot of running back depth, but Damian Harris, he should be coming up to the end of his contract. I think this is his last year. Yeah, toast, and call upon you to look at the contract. Makes sense. And the Patriots
should just be the workhorse. I don't know
Patriots season is over.
It probably is if they don't beat the Jets this week.
I mean, we're talking about the Browns. I mean, isn't the Patriots are like in the same boat? And they don't
Yeah,
have
you're right.
Deshaun Watson coming to save the day in a few
That's
weeks.
true. That's
They
true.
only got their Deshaun Watson is Bailey Zappi.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their defense is good though.
They're playing much better. They're
Yeah,
playing
they got
solid.
good cornerbacks. They have like 5 corners named Jones in the secondary. It's true.
Well, I think their corners sucked, and then like all of a sudden, Belichick just knows how to coach them up, or something. They just
No, they
start
got
playing
some good
well.
young. They got some good young defensive backs
But
now.
we've seen this story before, where it's like a total mess, but then they somehow they end up playing well. It just takes them a while. So their defense is playing good. I love their running back. Like I love Ramondre. Other than that, I mean,
Mondre's so good.
shoot, it's not that great. The Toast, I don't think he's being sarcastic. Toast said to me that means David Montgomery is getting traded, basically, because the GM said that's one of his favorite players.
To trade.
Yeah, I mean
Just
that's
kidding.
what
But
you like.
yeah, yeah.
What
That's
would
what
you?
you say. Yeah.
Yeah, like the situation with Cam, like you can get Cam Akers for free. Like nobody's gonna want to trade for Cam Akers. That's the thing. Like you can get that dude for super cheap. I don't think I would give a 7th round pick for Cam Akers if I was the
They're
GM.
gonna have to waive him, and then he's gonna get picked up off waivers.
Yeah,
That's
then he'll
just
get picked up.
Yeah, yeah.
He might even clear waivers.
No, really?
Well, he sucks.
Someone's gonna take a chance because of his pedigree, though.
Look, pause. There's a like let's just say probably he gets picked up off waivers. I'm just saying there's a chance he clears waivers. Now this was my example was like why would you go get Cam Akers, give something up for him, whether it's a spot in line on the waivers or you got trade for him when you could have just got Latavius Murray for free. What are the Broncos paying Latavius like $82,000? Like, I mean, for free. Latavius is way better than Cam Akers. It's not even close.
Probably just because at least there's youth on the Cam Akers side, so there's a small chance he can, in the long run get it together. But
next year.
Yeah.
So why would you do that, Mike? Exactly. Why not just draft a running back in next year's draft? You can get a good running back at the end of round 3, beginning of round 4. There's going to be some good running backs, I bet. You can just get a running back next year.
So you're saying his career's over, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah, I don't want to die on that hill. Like I think so.
Okay.
I just don't see any. I don't see any reason. I don't see a way out of this for him. There is after this year there is hope though. Yeah, like it can happen. I think this year is basically done.
Oh no, this year's done.
Yeah. Maybe next year for sure, but I don't see the reason because I was never high on him. So I always thought he was a mediocre average running back as a prospect. And now, I mean, he completely fell off a freaking cliff. I mean, he's like literally the worst running back in the league. What else do we got? We will answer your guys' questions. We don't have much else to talk about. The sun god.
Oh yeah, what were we gonna say about that?
The sun god. All right, here, let me bring this amazing picture up right here. There we go. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to say it right here, guys. Just a fair warning. This is your last chance. Hear me out. Your last chance to buy low on the sun god. Amongst Us St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a.k.a. the sun god, is about to go off. Go get him. People are scared. He got hurt. He had a fake concussion. I repeat, fake concussion. He was held out because of the new concussion protocols that no one knows what the protocols are. But because he looked, let's just say, woozy, he was held out, but he did not actually have a concussion. So from what I know, this guy is healthy. He's playing. The Lions are in no rush to bring in Jameson Williams, reportedly still 4+ weeks out from coming back. Remember, 4 weeks is an eternity in fantasy football. Give it 4 weeks and a week or two, the regular season is over. Fantasy football. This is your guy. If you need to buy low, now is the time. A lot of people in Couch Fam have a ton of running backs. You can give up your 4th running back. Go get this guy. The time is now. After this week, it's going to be too late. When this guy plays a full healthy game, 100% of the time, he balled the F out. That's pretty tough to argue against that stat. When he played a full game, every time he balled out. Go get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Any rebuttal, Mike?
No, I mean, only. Do you agree that Jameson Williams probably won't play this year, or what do you think
I
he comes
said
back?
he's 4+ weeks out from coming back, reportedly.
So he's
That's
not
an
going to be a
eternity.
factor in the fantasy regular season.
What are you gonna do? All right, so he comes back in 5 weeks, okay? And then his first game, he's just all of it like, come on. But dude, we're talking literally playoffs.
Yeah.
Fantasy play. Like, what are we thinking? Like, we're scared of a week 16, week 15, week 14. Like, that's what we're terrified of. Live your
So would you
life
cut
now.
him in
Think in the
redraft?
present.
Are you dropping if you need the bench space or the
Sure.
IR
Yeah. If you don't,
spot?
let's say you don't have an IR spot in your league, yeah,
Yeah.
drop Jameson Williams. You have to win now. There's nobody's safe out there. You hear me? There's no undefeated teams in any of my leagues. Yeah, you might be undefeated. That's a rare breed. No one is safe. Ooh, I got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. You ain't safe after today. Jamar Chase is out. Nobody's safe.
It's true.
Right? No one's safe. Everyone's getting hurt. Before the season started, there was no fantasy injuries that impacted anything. Soon as the season started, on the 4th play of the game, Eli Mitchell gets hurt for 8 weeks. And then the injuries just started rolling, just started snowballing. It's been nuts. No one's safe out there. It's messy, and some people aren't used to this because they're smart and their league mates are dumb. And this year that doesn't apply. It's going to be a grind for everybody. You have to grind out every single win. It's a game of inches in real life. In fantasy, it's a game of decimals. All right. It's going to be tough. Win now. Win today. Win next week. Win the week before. Don't worry about week 14. You can look ahead. You can peek ahead. Right. You can look at it. Right. Don't stare into the sun. You can glance and look away into the future. Concentrate on the now. Concentrate on the present. What do we got here? All right, here. Let's answer your questions. Did we cover most? We covered everything.
Yeah, I think that was good.
How long until Mitchell comes back? He could be traded.
Eli Mitchell?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be traded. He's a great handcuff to CMC, and he should get a few snaps here and there, a few carries. Now, the Niners have a bye week, week 9. I'd say Eli Mitchell comes back week 10. That was always my guess. I haven't heard any new news about Eli Mitchell, but that was my original guess, and I haven't heard the timeline of 8 weeks changing. So week 10, he could be back. Okay. Drunk Squidward in the building. What's up? Hello, guys. I traded DJ Moore and James Robinson for Amon-Ra and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Thoughts on that trade? I like it because I like DJ Moore, but you got these 2 guys who are a bit unknown, and you sold high on them right away. You didn't hesitate. You sold, because if you made this trade yesterday, you would have got a bag of old crushed Skittles. All right, you wouldn't have got anything. But you made the trade today. You got yourself Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then you got yourself Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's a decent stash. I like this trade. When I look at trades, unlike a lot of people, I don't concentrate on who's right and who's wrong. I concentrate on, does this help your team? And did you sell high? I sell high, buy low. Over 90% of the time, you want to buy low, sell high. It's the name of the game. It doesn't apply 100% of the time, but you want to try to do that. And that's what you did. What do you think of Pittman the rest of the season? I think Pittman's value stays the same. I still like him. I'm just going to be a truther of Pittman until we both hit the coffin. Like, I'm just going to, throughout this whole season, I will be a Pittman truther. Sam Ehlinger could hyper focus on Michael Pittman, which I think will happen. Now, Michael Pittman has been really good this year, just wildly inconsistent. And guess who was wildly inconsistent? Who else was wildly inconsistent on the Colts? Matt Ryan, right? One game, he's like the best passing, the passing leader. And then the next game, he throws like 6 yards and like 4 pick-worthy throws. Like, it was insane. So maybe we see a little bit more consistency, more consistent targets. I mean, Matt Ryan, bro, that was just, I don't know what he was doing this year. He was horrible. Him and Russell Wilson, bro. They're like polar opposites, yet the same. Because Russell Wilson, he doesn't throw in the middle when guys are wide open. And Matt
short.
Ryan throws in the middle when there's a linebacker looking and laughing at him. And he hits the linebacker right in the face mask. Like, this is crazy. They're on different sides of the poop spectrum, but both of them are poop.
Agreed. I think it hurts his stock, to be honest, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I think consistency is a big factor. It could, maybe, we'll see. I think he's okay. I think his value stays the exact same. I like Michael Pittman. Would you start Dak or Goff?
That's tough
this week. I'll tell you.
I don't like Dak's matchup. I'm begrudgingly starting him over Andy Dalton, but I think that Andy Dalton has more upside this week against the Raiders. But I just have to start Dak just because it's the smart thing to do.
Dak's the guy to start. Don't worry about it. All right, so this guy's going to start Dak as well.
Yeah.
Look, Dak is just, you got to remember, he's human. His first game back, he was rusty. This is going to be it's not a good matchup, but he's going to be solid. He's going to be very solid. He's going to throw to Pollard. He's going to throw to CeeDee Lamb. He's going to get the job done. He's going to be good. Trust me, man. Okay. Dak Prescott is the star. High floor for Dak Prescott. His second game.
Bears decent, though. They're giving a lot of teams problems this year, especially the Niners did.
They're good, but they just traded away Robert Quinn.
That's true.
They're gonna be faced with a superior team. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities for the Cowboys. That's why Brett Maher, the kicker, is a good play this week. There's gonna be a lot of opportunities. Trust me on that. And Tony Pollard in the pass game. Lots of it's a team sport. They're gonna set him up for a lot of easy scores and extra points and field goals. And Dak Prescott, I think, has a high floor. He just doesn't have the high upside, I think.
He doesn't have his – I feel like without Amari Cooper, that offense, just something's not right. Like, CeeDee Lamb isn't the number one guy that they thought he was going to be. Schultz has been, okay, but nothing special. And they don't really have a good number 2 receiver. Like, Noah Brown is their number 2 receiver right now, which is not great.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. Yeah, that's why I don't think I think we're looking at this wrong. I think he's a safe, good start. I just don't think he has that upside. He's not going to throw 400 yards. He's not going to throw 4 touchdowns. When he runs, he's not going to run like insane. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's going to be just to scramble or get a first down on occasion. That's not going to be. I like Dak. If
you're saying Amon-Ra is going to be good, you should think that Goff will be good as well, right? Isn't it tied together in some way? No.
There is a correlation, but no, because Amon-Ra can have 10 receptions, and just the Lions just do nothing. And that if he has 10 receptions, you're starting anybody with 10 receptions. Doesn't mean they did great.
I mean, he's not going to get 10 receptions, is he?
Watch.
Amon-Ra?
10
Has he ever got
receptions.
10
Amon-Ra.
receptions?
You heard it here first.
Wow, that's
Has
bold.
he? I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Look at, do you know Mike Evans getting targets like crazy? Do you know about this? Look at this.
No, I didn't know
Mike
about that.
Evans. Come on,
But
load up.
targets is different from receptions.
Yeah, but
Like, you get
targets,
targeted.
that's how you get receptions, though. Nothing is loading. All right.
Gotta reboot that comp bet.
No, it's not my
Oh, shit.
computer. Computer's working
Sleeper's
fast. There
fault.
we go.
Okay,
I just
there
had to
you go.
switch leagues. The duos league glitched.
Okay.
Look at this. Mike Evans,
Wow,
11
15
targets today and 15 targets last week.
Nice. That's
I mean,
solid.
it's,
What's Amon-Ra getting?
Let's see.
Just curious.
10 is bold prediction.
That's super bold. 10 receptions? I guess
Look
he
at
had
this
8.
though. It's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
close. So first
Wow,
2
yeah.
weeks when he played
Yeah, he was
full,
balling the first
when
2
he
weeks.
played full games. That's when he played full
Dang,
games.
You're right. Okay,
12
so it is
targets,
possible.
8 receptions against the Eagles.
That's pretty good.
Doesn't get much
Solid.
tougher than that.
Yeah, Darius Slay.
And then Washington, again, 12 targets, 9 receptions.
Okay. Yeah, he was the wide receiver 1 in the beginning of the year. I know that.
And then week 3, I assume he got hurt towards the end of the game. 9
he
targets, 6 receptions. This is a team that's always behind. And this is Goff's skill set, throwing to Amon-Ra. He's not like, he's not killing it down the field or anything. And they're getting Swift back. Swift was healthy, I believe, these first 2 games. So yeah, you're starting Amon-Ra. But between Dak and Goff, I picked Dak. Isaiah Likely, definitely one of my best ball stashes for sure. He went off. What's crazy is that NFT tournament, the SBS cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like this year is like it makes it way better. So I'm in this, you know about it, Mike. I'm in this tournament where you get an NFT and that's your entry to this big tournament. Like you win a ton of money. So they don't start players. They just say like Baltimore tight end. So if you started Baltimore tight end today, you did well. I don't know what Isaiah Likely got. Close to like 20 fantasy points.
Did he?
Yeah, he balled out. He did great. So Isaiah Likely, 19.7 fantasy.
Nice, solid.
So if you did start so for this league, there's a lot less crying and heartbreak. So if you have Jets running back's a bad example because that one takes a hit. But let's say you have Cincinnati wide receiver, you're still alive. Like it's not that sad. Well, you got Cincinnati wide receiver. If you have Jamar Chase, you're a sad boy today.
Yeah.
Like you're probably not going to overcome that. Like that's tough because you're like, oh man, I had no chance of winning this league, but now I got a chance with Jamar Chase going off. And now it's like, okay, now you got 0 chance.
Feel bad for Sully in our country.
Yeah, he had a great draft and
great draft.
He had a sliver of hope to not suck, and then that sliver went away pretty bad with Breece Hall and Jamar Chase.
In 10-day span.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And he drafted Swift, so that's been bad.
Yeah, it's just not. And
he
did late. He was the last guy to draft a quarterback, and as you know, there's no quarterbacks. And
yeah.
That league is the only way that having Baltimore RB makes you happy. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't think you start Baltimore RB. I'm gonna bench Baltimore, and then like Kenyon Drake goes off today. But that's like this year. That league is like it's really attractive because it's like all these crazy injuries. It's so annoying. It really is. And this year it just made it so much more attractive. And it took me a while to realize it was Jamar Chase's injury that made me realize it. I was like, I mean, it's still cool to have Cincinnati it's still an elite wide receiver to start. So essentially it takes the best player out of that position and team and starts him. So if you got Cincinnati wide receiver, and even if Tyler Boyd goes off, you still get Tyler Boyd's point. Let's say Tyler Boyd does nothing and Higgins goes off. you get Higgins points. So yeah, that type of league is really really helping out the tears I'm shedding this year and a lot of fantasy owners. Bob says they had DK, Chase, and Bateman.
Oh, sorry for your loss.
In duo, nobody can beat us in duos league. Mike,
we're
we're
the
at
most unlucky team of all time.
12 injuries.
Wow, that seems low.
And we're still. I was such an idiot today for starting Julio Jones.
What a genius.
And it worked out.
I can't believe that. That's the ballsiest start.
Oh, yeah. There's no way around it.
There's no way that.
So, of course, I love making fun of myself and joking. Like, everyone thinks I have an ego, so I always do that. But to me, it was a smart choice. Not because Julio Jones was going to do – no. It was bad.
Yeah, why was it smart?
It's only smart because he plays Thursday. So if I didn't do this, we could have ate double poop from both ends. It could have been poopoo falling from the ceiling, poopoo rising from the sewers. The walls could have had walls closing in with poop, like that Star Wars scene where the garbage is constricting.
Yeah.
Like it could have just come from all over the place.
Yeah.
We have no players.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is our only shot. Like,
I like it. It's bold.
Because how about if another injury happened? Then I'm like, we already have nobody to start. So at least we got a lucky touchdown. I mean, we right now we got Eno Benjamin starting. Like that's what I'm saying. There's a good chance we're gonna have to bench him. James Conner could be back.
Yeah.
And it's not like we have Eno Benjamin and Latavius Murray. And
I would just let that rock. Like just even if Connor's coming back, like he's the better back.
Well, Raheem Mostert has a minor injury, and we have Chase Edmonds.
Oh, okay.
Now, Chase Edmonds, as we all know, sucks tremendously.
Yes.
But he faces the Lions. So if Mostert is out, we'll start Chase Edmonds, and Connor is in. We'll start. See, this is why I started Julio, so we have flexibility.
I like it. I see what you did now.
Now, if Connor plays and Mostert plays, I would be like, all right, I think we just lose. Like, we're just going to lose.
We lost already. Yeah.
So we got a chance.
Our team looks so bad, except for now Burrow's value went down a bit.
His upside took a hit. Yeah, it's crazy. He was like,
we actually hit that. We hit that,
bro. He's killing it. He's insane. Oh my god, he's the third best quarterback.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
We were both saying how bad that pick was.
That was actually our best.
Wow, he's the third best QB. 12 injuries, and he just never gave up. We have no running backs, and we drafted a ton. No running backs. We have Michael Pittman and McLaurin. That's it.
CPAT's coming back though. Hopefully,
he'll be back in a week or so.
That will give us some juice for sure. That will keep us in it. Mitchell coming back.
Well,
come on now.
What are we gonna do with Eli Mitchell?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Unless if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, he's basically nothing. Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe they trade him. I don't know. We don't know.
Eli Mitchell?
We need some draft picks. Yeah, we need some draft picks back. Let's get something back.
No, we're going for the Super Bowl.
All right, so just keep them for depth, even though we have Jeff Wilson and TDP.
Slammy says, yo, what's up, Slammy? Let's answer a few more questions, and then we'll end it.
All right, smart.
Should I trade Brian Robinson and Deontay Foreman for Pittman?
Yes.
I have ETN, Pearson, Connor.
Ooh, yeah. I think
go for this. Deontay Foreman's an amazing start this week. But after this week, I don't know. The warranty might expire on this product.
What if Chuba's ankle injury is more serious than it looked?
Well, then he's great. But we don't. That's the thing. Like that's what I'm saying. After this, like you don't have the warranty anymore. I don't know what's gonna happen after this week. This week he's great. After this week, who knows? Maybe the Panthers after midnight will turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
So and then you'll just be like, oh, nothing's moving. You don't have the fancy dress, you don't have the carriage, nothing. It's just this big pumpkin. Brian
Interesting.
Robinson, he's one of the like a decent floor, low upside kind of guy, not a lot of targets. So he's just a solid like flex RB3. You know, he's nothing. And that's what Deontay Foreman probably will be moving forward if Chuba Hubbard comes back.
Well, we got a sub from answering that, by the way.
There
That's
we
cool.
go. You know, that's what I'm talking about. By the way, DG, we have a main channel. It's called Fantasy Couch. This is our second channel. This one's more loosey. We like to have more fun on here.
It's
It's
more
more
loosey
loose. Oh,
goosey.
it's more fun. It's more casual, business casual up in
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Love it.
Thank you for subscribing. That means a lot. That means a lot.
We'll take it.
We'll call this guy Evan. Start 3. No,
What?
I don't know. I'm
Start.
already
It's too many
confused.
things. Too
You know
many
I
things.
can't read, and then you confuse
Start
me.
3, trade / bench 1.
Oh, it means like get rid of one.
Okay. I get
ETN,
rid
Swift,
of
Neither
Swift.
way.
Trade Swift. I don't know. Or Kamara actually is probably better. Trade
Yeah,
Kamara.
look, that's the thing is like ETN. Just keep.
I like you gotta start him for sure.
I like the younger players, right? Going back to how we started this podcast, I like the younger players, less tread on the tire, more durable. And so that's Dameon Pierce and ETN. So I don't care, like, unless I get like a out of this world offer, which you won't. Like, you'll never get a crazy offer. I'm not trading ETN and Pierce, okay? So just trade away Swift or Kamara. Now, here's one cool thing with Swift. You might want to wait after this week. Kamara should also have a great game. So you may want to wait one more week. As far as who to bench, I probably would bench ETN. This is the plan. This is the plan for you. Ideal plan, but you don't have to do this plan. I'm just giving you the train of thought, and then you take this and do what's best for your team. You know, make this happen in your own way. Bench ETN this week against the Broncos, and then trade away Swift or Kamara. You can even let your opponent choose after this week. All right, this is going to be a trifecta. Okay, you're trading away the older, more injury prone, more suspension prone player. You're starting those players so the guy knows you like them. All right, let's take a page out of the Bears GM. Right, oh, this is my favorite player. Right, that's what you want to be like. Man, I'm starting this guy. Like, I'm giving you my best starter. Give me something good. And now you're left with the younger running backs, and you get rid of the more older, injury prone running backs. That's what I would do this week. Kamara going against the Raiders, I believe. Swift going against the Dolphins. You got to start Swift. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. It's going to be a rough road. It's going to be a lot of grinding, but we're going to make it through. Peace out.